3, 2, 1. And we should be live starting right about now. You should be able to receive the signal from us. And if I am correct, if I go into my chat room, I should see, yes, indeed, I'm seeing people in the room already, 33, 34 people there. So welcome to our webinar today on growing your YouTube channel. Hopefully you're all YouTube content publishers. We're interested in learning more about making your channel a more vibrant channel, making it more productive, making sure that that you are doing the best job shining light on your content as you can. So we're gonna. I got a little cheat sheet here to make sure that I cover everything. Oh, I love to hear where you're all from. So if you look on the right-hand side of the Hangout window, there's a chat room there. So just you can just say hi there. You can type in your name and say hi, and you can and let me know where you're calling in from. Sometimes it happens and it goes by too fast, and I don't have time to actually read out where everybody's from. But I want to welcome you and get an idea where everybody's coming in from. So that is tremendously exciting to me to see where people are coming from around the world. Today, we are going to try and focus in on about an hour of content today. I'll try and keep it to an hour. We might go a little bit longer, but that'll be a question and answer. The main content will be delivered in the first hour here today, and it's all live. Those of you who have taken my other webinars know that I often do a hybrid form of webinar where I stream in some video and I interject and I go into chat live. This one is going to be all live, and actually I'm going to be doing some demos right within the webinar itself, which is a little nerve-wracking, I have to tell you, from my perspective. But I think it's important for you to see the tools in action. So I'm not going to be as active in chat at the beginning, although I'll be able to take a look through, I'll see where people are coming from, and at the end I'll be able to respond to your questions in chat, but I won't be there live as we're going on. So just taking a look, we got Andrew from White Rock just down the street, Carol from Fredericton, New Brunswick, love the New Brunswick, Connie from New Brunswick, we've got Wendy from Blackbridge, Virginia. Calgary, Ken in Calgary, Alberta. How are you doing in Calgary? I hope summer's finally hitting Calgary. Sometimes it takes a long time. Catherine from Penticton, BC. Is it already? It must be already smoking hot in Penticton. We've got Phil from West Vancouver, just down the street from me. Let's see where some of the rest of you are from. Oh, Richard from Juniper, Florida. Welcome, Richard. Glad to see you. Let's see. We've got from Clacton on the Sea. We've got Colin from Clacton on the Sea in the UK. And we've got from Jean-Yves Garneau from Costa Rica. They are excited about the World Cup going on, aren't they? Rodrigo from Brazil, where they're very excited about the World Cup going on. Brian from Thunder Bay. It's awesome to see you all. How many people do we have in the room right now? Let's take a quick boo. We're up to 56 people in the room, which is great, and I'm sure more people will join on as we go. So here's what we're going to be doing today. First thing I want to do, just keep putting in your where you're from, because I'll be able to look back, and I'm going to capture all of this and take a look at it a little bit later. But while you're telling me where you're from, I also want you to fill in this poll, which is if you currently have a YouTube channel or not. I'm expecting most of you will have a YouTube channel already, but I'm just curious to let me know whether you have one or not, and I'll come back to this poll a little bit later on in the talk today. So what are we going to be covering today? I'm going to be jumping out of here in just a few moments and going into a bit of a slideshow, which I'll be covering, where we'll be talking about the basic things that I've learned in the last year as far as growing a YouTube channel, creating engagement, increasing your number of subscribers, and even more importantly, increasing the number of views and the length of view that you have on your videos. We're going to be talking about that, and then I'm going to break away and I'm going to show you my publishing process. I'm actually going to walk you through the process that I go through with each and every one of my videos. Now, I am a fairly high volume YouTube publisher for a small shop like I am. I publish about 4 times a week, so I've built a routine, a system that I give each and every one of my videos as I publish it. I'm going to take you through that because it's in that routine that I can teach you exactly all of the important touch points that I consider in growing your YouTube channel. Because I think that you can strategically build success. I don't think you have to count on viral success for YouTube to work for you. So I'm going to touch on all of the things that I think you should do as a good content creator in order to assure that your content sees the light of day, has people come and visit, and creates engagement and builds your community. So that is what we are going to be doing as we go along. And I still see people writing it still from Muskoka, Ontario. I wonder if, are you in your cottage? Are you already in summer mode there in Muskoka? Who was that? That was George. Are you already in summer mode? I'm close to summer mode. I got 2 more weeks before I start my holiday. I'm looking forward to that. So let's let's jump right into the presentation part of the of the webinar now. So I am going to just share my desktop with you so that you can see. There we go. And I'm going to start the presentation going. I'm actually using Google, the Google presentation tool. Google presentation, which is actually what my video is about too. It was kind of, it's the video that we're going to be publishing in a few moments. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little background about me, Steve Dotto. Those of you who are visiting us today in the webinar from Canada, good chance you know who I am already and kind of my history. The rest of you, for 15 years, I hosted and produced a television show here in Canada called Dotto Tech. And it was a technology show. And we were seen coast to coast for, as I say, 15 years. And we had a large audience. We did really quite well. We had about 20 million annual viewers in Canada. And while I did that, I was in all of the traditional media. I did radio for 12 years, and I did 9 years writing a newspaper column, which is amazing considering how poor my grammar is. But I did a newspaper column for 8 years. And my job, my main job as the host and executive producer of the TV show, was really all about building the show itself. Even though I hosted the content and I did all of the presentation, the on-air stuff, my main skill, as far as I'm concerned, was actually putting the show together, finding sponsors, doing the deals with the networks, etc. So it's the business case that always fascinated me. And the reward was I got to get on TV and have fun and be able to share and be able to, go into makeup and all of those sorts of things as the host. But it gave me an appreciation for the entirety of what it took to be a network, to work as a broadcast professional. After 15 years, it was time to stop doing the TV show, and I began a shift over. And I took a couple of years off just to kind of recharge my batteries because it was a hard, it was a slog producing as many shows as I did for as long as I did. But when I decided to start getting back into the game, as it were, I started looking at YouTube in about 2013. And for me, coming from the broadcast world, YouTube was an eye-opening experience because here was the thing. As a broadcast professional, my audience, the people who watched my show, weren't my customers. And I know that it almost sounds awful to say that the people who consumed your content weren't your customers, but they weren't because they didn't pay the freight. The people who paid the freight were the sponsors. So my customers were people like Apple and Microsoft and Creative Labs and Logitech and Hewlett Packard. Those were the companies who I went to, dealt with their marketing departments, and they underwrote the show. So those were the ones that I was concerned with keeping happy. Those were the ones who I had conversations and relationships with. My audience, in fact, was held at arm's length from me because I didn't own my audience, but the network, the TV network, owned my audience. And every time I went in to negotiate my next season's contract with the networks, they would essentially hold the audience hostage because I had no access to them except through the network. And they could disenfranchise me from my audience by just moving me from Saturday morning to Sunday afternoon on the times on the schedule. Or, God forbid, they cancel you. As far as the world is concerned, you go away because there's no touch points with the audience. I had no way to have a conversation. The only conversation I ever had with the audience was if I happened to see somebody that liked my show on a plane or at a speaking engagement or something like that. So when I began to explore YouTube, the thing that excited me the most was the combining of my audience and my customers, because now my YouTube audience is my customer base. So the coalescing of those two together made my decision-making process much easier, but also because of things like the comments area within YouTube and the fact they subscribe to my videos, I now started to be able to engage in a real relationship with my audience where I could actually build a community, have a conversation, which opened up so many new opportunities for me. Most important is people could tell me what they wanted to see on this, what I want to record as far as content, and I can respond to that, which is the gift for any content creator, to have your audience tell you what they are interested in. So that for me was an absolute eye-opening experience with YouTube, and it really changed my attitude and made me want to work hard on it. So what are we going to be covering today? Here are my assumptions about you who are in the webinar today. I'm going to assume that you have good or great content already, that you know what you want to talk about and share. I'm going to assume that you want to deliver it to a larger audience, that you're interested in growing your channel and actually growing it as a community in a healthy, vibrant way. And I'm going to assume that you're ready to learn. Here's what we're not going to cover. And I'm not going to talk to you about how to make videos or writing scripts, what technology you need in software. I've got other webinars where I cover the technology and stuff like that. And there's other content creators that do a great job of covering that. I'm not going to tell you how to overcome your performance anxiety, or I'm not going to tell you how amazing YouTube is, because you should already know how amazing YouTube is. No, instead, I'm going to cover the things that are going to make your channel grow, how you're going to build subscribers, build relationships, increase your views, community engagement. And I'm going to do that by walking you through my publishing process and telling you why I make decisions and why I do things the way I do. And you'll be able to set that against the lens of your own content, which you know far better than I. And you can determine what's value there and what's not value there, setting it against the type of content, your own publishing schedule, etc. Does that sound like a good idea? I hope so, because that's what we're doing, folks. All right. Here is, when we look at YouTube, I think a lot of us feel intimidated by the vastness of YouTube, by the number of views that are possible and viewers that are possible. When they roll out the numbers of how much video is uploaded every hour in YouTube, and how many people are subscribing, and how many people are going to it, and how it's more popular than television networks, we can be overwhelmed. And any numbers that we create, any number of subscribers that we create, there's going to be somebody that blows us out of the water. Any number of views we create, there's going to be somebody that just absolutely decimates our number and makes it look insignificant. What you have to remember is it is not insignificant. Every single person who watches one of your YouTube videos is an incredibly intimate connection between you and that person. If you have a YouTube video that gets 200 views and you think, oh gosh, I only had 200 people, think about sitting down in a movie theater, having 200 people there and watching that video. That is a good-sized community to work with. Now, it might not be a sustainable community as far as your business objectives, but you have to respect the fact that every single person, every number that's a view or a subscriber to your channel is an intimate connection that you have with somebody else, and it is incredibly valuable. And every time you add another one, you're adding to your legacy, you're adding to the value of your channel. Now, we all hear about viral growth in YouTube. I interviewed the guys that did a channel called Convos with My 2-year-old, where they basically have an adult playing the part of the guy's 2-year-old. They recreate real conversations he had with his 2-year-old, and it's hilarious and viral, and they're growing upwards of 1 million subscribers in less than a year. And they had overnight success. They posted their video, shared it in Facebook, and within a few hours, they were up over 10,000 views. Within a few days, they were in the hundreds of thousands of views, and all of a sudden, they had a business instantly grow right there, faster than a chia pet grows. Now, they've got their own challenges, and we hear of those viral successes, and it does tend to intimidate us. I don't know how to create a viral success. That's not my strength. But I do know that if you do the right things, if you pay attention to the key points that I'm going to be teaching you here in this webinar, that strategic growth is a certainty. You will grow your channel. And then your channel's growth and where it eventually ends up will be dependent on factors that you have a lot of control over. The quality of content you are, the niche you're in, how much energy you're willing to put in. But it's not, growing a YouTube channel is not throwing out a video, putting a link up on Facebook and hoping people follow you. There's a process that you're going to need to follow and want to follow if you really want to assure success. And I'll give you a bit of a blueprint for that today. So let me give you a little background on me, my bona fides, as it were. Once I stopped doing my TV show, and I started to engage in YouTube. May 2012 was when I first began to look at YouTube as a possible channel for myself. And at that point there, because we'd done the TV show for so many years, we had published quite a few videos into YouTube, but I paid no attention to it. We had a production assistant that would simply take the video that we'd recorded and shot into a show, break it into logical chunks between commercials, throw it up on YouTube, and we were on YouTube because we had to be on YouTube. We didn't really know what we were doing, and we didn't care what we were doing. It was just on YouTube because we had to be there. And so it didn't do well. We had 800 subscribers, and what I call them is stale subscribers. There were people who subscribed to the channel, and so this was 1.5 years or 2 years after I'd done my last TV show that I started to publish some new video. I had 800 subscribers sitting there in the channel, and I decided that I was going to start exploring this world of YouTube. So I recorded myself a screencast using a tool called ScreenFlow and just recording it with my webcam here in my little office. a video on a product that I thought would be interesting to some of my fellow Canadians, and I threw it up on YouTube to see what happened. It is a god-awful video. If you want to have a laugh, go back and watch it. The lighting is terrible. I look terrible. The content is only okay. I didn't use the tools the way that I've learned to use them since, but it began my journey of looking at YouTube. So that was where I started. Over the course of the next year, I started to play around and recognize that I liked the idea of publishing on YouTube, because what it did was it allowed me to replace blogging and writing columns for newspapers, and I find writing hard. I thought, if I can get to the point where I can do a vlog, a video blog, I would be happier than doing writing. So I was trying to explore how I could turn my my outreach into a video format rather than a written format. So I published the odd video over the course of the next year. And I grew the subscriber base a little bit. Come September, in the summer of 2013, I had grown to the point where I thought, I like this. I was comfortable with YouTube content publishing. It was a place that I wanted to establish myself and see if I could build a business on it, really. So over my summer holidays that year, which is a year ago now, I'm just about to head off on summer holidays now, I said, okay, I'm going to commit to doing this and doing it properly. So when I came back in September, I started publishing weekly, which is a huge key point for us all to consider, is frequency of publishing. You have to be there frequently if you want to build a committed audience. So I committed to publishing frequently, and I also set a goal. It's important to set goals for yourself, as we know. And my goal was to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2013. I just made it. December 28th, I topped the 10,000 subscriber mark. Now, subscribers are not the most important number, but they're the easiest one to identify, because when you visit a person's YouTube channel, usually you'll be able to see how many subscribers they have. So it's an easy measurement. It's an easy indication of social proof to look at the number of subscribers. So that's why I set that as my goal. So I hit that 10,000 in January. It energized me. I decided to do even higher frequency, and it only took me 4 months to double it again to 20,000. And as of now today, 2 months later, we're closer to 30,000 subscribers, and it's growing. And I can now predict accurately how much energy I have to put in to grow my channel. Now, I've set a goal of 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, which I will fall short of, I must say. But the real goal that I had is, can I make a living? Can I build a business on YouTube? That is my real goal, and that's what I'm trying to determine. And I believe that you can now, if you look at it with appropriate eyes, if you have a good niche, if you have good content, and if you're willing to do the work. It's not going to fall into your lap. You're going to have to work it, but I believe it is entirely possible. So I said subscribers are good, and my growth in subscribers does feel good, and I always do look at those numbers, and it's sort of like a person that's on a weight loss program stepping on the scales every day. If I've exceeded my average number of subscribers for that previous day, I feel good, and if it's been less, I feel bad. It's kind of up and down as I go along. But I also recognize that the number of subscribers is not the most important number as far as YouTube and as far as channel growth is concerned. Really, the numbers that count are the number of views you have and the retention of your audience. So the number of views YouTube counts is anything over 30 seconds. So increasing the number of views, that number of times people view your videos, and how long they view them for. YouTube has changed their search algorithms to go from straight number of views to the length of views and the feedback that you get. So better quality content which is actually people are watching and responding to, is now ranking higher in YouTube search, which people who create good content are benefiting from. I mean, the bottom line with all of this is, if you don't create good content, you're not going to have a successful channel. So I'm assuming that you're going to create good content. And if you do, then all of the changes in YouTube as far as how they search is going to help us. And we want people to stay on our videos longer. And there's lots of tools to help us analyze when we're losing people, how long they're watching for in the YouTube analytics. And those are all tools that you should be looking at. So how am I? Oh, I'm almost exactly on time. I'm about 2 minutes late from where I planned to be. So now what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and we're going to take a look at how I actually publish on YouTube. And before I do that, I just wanted to, I didn't have another place to put this point in, but I really want you to understand this. A lot of people consider when they create content on YouTube that they put it up there, and because they've created good content, somehow the universe is going to reward them, people are going to discover that content, and your channel is going to grow appropriately. Well, get over that. That is that is like the tooth fairy and other fantasies. If you create good content, you can't just sit back and hope that the universe is going to reward you. You have to shine a light on that content. And a lot of us feel that that is almost that's kind of self-promotional and things, and we shy away from that kind of self-promotional activity. But it's not. If you've done a good job, created something that you think people have value in consuming, then it's incumbent upon you to celebrate that to people, to let them know, to cross-post it, to aggressively put it out there and encourage people to view it. And they will appreciate it if it's good content. So we've got to get out of that passive mindset into a little bit more of an aggressive mindset if we want to be successful on YouTube. So with that, let us jump now into our demo part of the webinar. This that you should see in front of you right now is my YouTube channel. This is it exactly as it is. So it's not like I can pull the wool over your eyes. You can see right now. I'll refresh this so we know exactly what it is at this moment. So at the moment that you are watching this video, this webinar right now, I have 29,214 subscribers. And I'm growing by 3,000 subscribers a month, which is a nice number. And I had 145,000 views in the last 30 days. So that's the numbers that we're dealing with, the reality of my life, my channel as we sit. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the process that I go through with each and every video as I launch it. And this video that we see here at the top, if you visit my channel right now, if you go to youtube.com/Dottotech, and for God's sakes, don't leave the webinar to do it. But if you go there right now, you will see the latest video is this Evernote Essentials video, which I posted 2 days ago. That's going to be the top video and the most current video. This video that you see here in my system here is the one that I have staged, ready to release. And you and I are going to release that in the next 10 or 15 minutes here. So by the time this webinar is over, you'll be able to visit my channel again, and this video will be published, and you'll be able to see it as it goes live. So let's go in and let's edit it. And let's see how I massage my video and the things that I do to my video to create the kind of growth that I want to have. Now, when I uploaded my video, I've already pre-populated the title and some of the things. I'll talk about those in a minute. But the very first thing that I do when I upload it, after I've uploaded a video, is I create a new thumbnail for it. And we see the graphics right here. If I don't create a new thumbnail for it, YouTube will pick a thumbnail for me from within the video, and they never look good. They always look like crap. And they also don't brand for us at all. So I always encourage people to do a custom thumbnail. And a custom thumbnail that honors your brand will do a lot for you, I believe. And one of the most important things that it does for you is allows you to be identified visually by people looking at related content to you. Here's what happens. If you start creating some good content, YouTube will start suggesting your video in YouTube search. At the end of the day, one of the things that we're always working on with our videos, and with at this stage here with the video, is we're setting the video up for success within YouTube so that when people are searching for content in our area, they find our video and are likely to view it. And people that are searching for similar content, we want our video to perform so well that YouTube says this is good content, and it suggests our video to people who are looking at other videos that are related. I will show you what I mean. I'm just going to jump over here into YouTube itself, and I'm going to type in a very short tail search. I'm going to type in Evernote. So there's the Evernote. When we search for Evernote, what will come up typically first are a couple of paid ads, which we see at the top. We can see that identified by the paid. Then we see the Evernote channel, which is as expected. And then we see a few videos. And look, lo and behold, there's one of my videos right there. Now, I'm ranking third in this nice short tail search, so I'm doing quite well. If you scroll down looking for videos on things, oh, there's another Steve one. Oh, there's another Steve one. Oh, there's another Steve and another Steve. So I've chosen Evernote, obviously, for this demo because I do a fair number of videos on Evernote. But by having a consistent branding, I am already creating a certain, if you don't know who we are at this point, we're already creating a certain level of credibility because of the fact that we are appearing so often in search. And I hope our cover art looks fairly professional and it represents the content within it. So let's say, for argument's sake, that you are people that are just led by the crowd and you're going to choose the video above mine and you're going to watch one of Evernote Scott's videos. And by the way, Evernote Scott does a great job on videos. He concentrates just on Evernote. I'm just going to pause that there. There we go. Oh, look, it's a Vancouver-based company, Wishpond, running an ad here. Okay, so as you're watching the video, look what happens on the right-hand side of the screen here. My videos and other people's videos are being recommended by YouTube. So this is part of that whole search criteria as well. We want to be discovered and we want good thumbnail artwork because we will be noticed here. And as people watch this video, do you ever just watch one video in a topic you're interested in? Probably not. You probably look for a couple of different angles, a couple of different points of view. So being identifiable and appealing at this point here is crucial. Looking at my analytics, 42% of my new viewers come from this page, come from YouTube recommending my video to somebody else. I get a percentage from search, that first stage that I just went through, but I get 42% of my new viewers from this are introduced to me from looking at somebody else's video that's related, but then clicking on mine. That is an incredibly powerful statistic to know about, and it really encourages me to do as good a job as I can creating an appealing visual representation of my video just in this thumbnail. So far more important than I ever thought thumbnails would be when I started on this process. And actually, as I talk about it now, I realize that my sad old templates that I created for it should possibly go into the hands of a talented graphic artist, and maybe I can even increase my engagement by improving the look of my template. So I actually create that template there in Photoshop, and then I bang them out with it. When I create each video, I create a new thumbnail right away, upload it, and attach it to the video. So that's step one, being visually identifiable. The second thing that I do is I go through and I make sure that all of my title, my description, and my tags here down in the middle and bottom part of the screen, I make sure that those are all representative of what I'm trying to convey. Now, I think your title is the most important part of the entire video at this point here. I used to just try and write good titles. Now, before I write a good title, and before I even start on my video, I do a Google search for keywords and key phrases, and I try and find what search terms people are using to find information that's related to the content that I'm going to be presenting. And if it's appropriate, I try and incorporate those better keyword searches and short phrases into my title and into my description. That adds to my ability to be found. Now, SEO in YouTube is not the same as SEO in Google. We can't game the system the way they still try and do in Google by packing keywords and all those sorts of things. YouTube is effectively going to look mostly at how long people are viewing your videos, how many video views you have, their engagement. People that start a video and click away right away, they're going to penalize you for those sorts of things. So the title has to reflect the content, and you have to have some traction and some credibility in order to rank higher in search. But being found initially, it's really important to frame your title correctly. And here's the one key mistake that many people make, is they do branding instead of illustrating their content. In other words, if I called all my videos Dottotech Video, I might be inclined to start out the title, Dottotech Video using the Google Drive presentation app as the title for this one. That would be a big mistake because it looks at the beginning of that search phrase for the uniqueness off the top. So if I do insist on branding, which I'm not sure is really worth it at all, then instead I would say using the Google Drive presentation app, or hyphen, a Dottotech Video. Put your branding at the end. Put the content that's being searched for at the front of that search phrase. In the body of the content, in the description, look for those longer tail search phrases. How to use Google Drive, how to use Google Drive presentation tool. I will make sure I have all of those terms framed within the content. And finally, tagging is just making sure you have the correct tags that are going to properly identify your content. So that's the second phase that I go through, is making sure that this basic SEO content is in place. The third phase that I go through before publishing is really what I consider to be the most exciting thing within YouTube, and that is I add annotation. Annotations are a very powerful extra layer that's attached to our video that basically sits over top of the video. It allows us to create clickable areas and links within our video it allows us to basically create some interactivity with our audience, which is golden for anybody trying to build a community, because we can actually ask people to do things using annotations. But annotations go beyond that, because the annotations will also allow us to add extra titles, to add extra little simple notifications within our video, which can significantly extend the shelf life of a video. For example, I released a video a couple of months ago on Google Drive versus Dropbox. And literally the day, and I included pricing information, and the day after I released that video, Google dropped the price of Google Drive. Damn you, Google. Now my video, which already has some traction and views, and I don't want to re-record, is useless because I said it was $9.95 and it's now $2.95. It was a huge drop in price. But what I did was I went in and I did an annotation. I created a graphic that said, actually, Google's just dropped the price down to $2.95. Click here for more information. And then I put a link back to my website. So I was able to now extend the shelf life of that video by changing one little bit of content that was embedded in the video, because of course you can't change the video itself, and I still keep the video up there. Because one of the challenges we have as YouTube content creators is we want our videos that get lots of views and lots of traction to stay on YouTube, because they rank high in search. And even if they aren't quite as valuable in content, they're still valuable as far as discovery from our audience. So finding ways to keep that information current is crucial for us. Annotations are the best way to do that. Now, I also use annotations to build my subscription base. I thought when I started producing my video, because they were just so darn good, that people would automatically subscribe to my channel. And it was like crickets on my channel. Nobody was subscribing. And then I read somebody said somewhere in some YouTube thing that I was reading, ask for the subscription. And I was going, oh, that's for people who aren't creating as compelling a content as am I. Well, I capitulated and I added this, and I add this now to every one of my videos about a minute or 35 seconds or into the video. Let me find it here. It'll be at about a minute 30. So let me just scroll ahead here in the video. And there, if I play right now, up in the upper right-hand corner, am I right? There it is. I embed in the video. So actually in the editing of the video, I put in a little hotspot. I put in a button that I can identify within the video that says, please subscribe to our channel. And I do other things as well later on in the video. Actually, if you look down here in the bottom right of this editing window, I have 3 annotations that I've already put into this, because once I put in one, I don't want you to have to watch me put in all of my annotations. But this is my subscribe one. This is the most important one, I think, to start as far as beginning to build your channel. So let's add an annotation to it the way I do every single day. You just click on the button, add annotation, and you can add a speech bubble, which will just be a text bubble over my head, or I can position anywhere, a note, a title. The one that I use is called a spotlight annotation, which doesn't need to have any text attached to it. And we see it here in the middle. You position it over where you want it to air, or where you want it to be. And this is just creating a button that people can then click on, because if I go down here in the right-hand side of this window and click on link, I can now add a link. Now, the link I'm going to add to this is my YouTube subscribe link. Now, I can never remember the URL for it, so I've created a hotkey for it. I use a tool on the Mac called Text Expander, which I just go YTSUB for YouTube subscribe, and just see how it automatically filled in all the information for me? That's all I do. I then make sure that that button, by looking at the bottom, is up as long as the graphic is, and I set my graphics for 30 seconds. So I can actually, instead of doing it visually, I can just actually go in here and go, it starts at minute 34. So if I ended at 2 minutes and 4 seconds, then that graphic will stay up as long as, the button will stay up as long as the graphic, and I'm done. Now, I'll do that several times through the video. At the very end of the video, I do more than just ask for people to subscribe. I also ask people to sign up for my newsletter, and I even ask them to donate to my Patreon campaign, which is my crowdfunding campaign. So I create 3 buttons at the very end of my video. Once I've done that, and if it's a longer video, I might add some more calls to action within the middle of the video. You can ask people to subscribe to your newsletter. You can offer them a download of a PDF or something. You can create all sorts of interaction within this environment. You can also direct them to other videos. If I've got a related video, I'll put a link into another video, which is a very powerful tool. And then I just go publish, and it's ready to go. It is now annotated and ready for prime time. I'm going to go back to information and settings. And the last, well, there's actually 2 other things that I do. One, I'm not going to spend time talking about right now, but I do turn on monetization of my ads. We can go on for a long time about whether or not you should be monetizing your ads with AdSense ads on top. But since I give away my content, I don't mind adding ads to it. Bottom line, though, is if you are selling something, if you're trying to get people to sign up for your coaching programs or any other sort of sales activity, I'm not sure that putting ads on, especially with how little we make from our ads, to be perfectly honest with you, is a really good strategy. You might want to take a pass on the monetizing with ads. But I do monetize with ads because A, I want to know how much money I can make from it, and B, I could use the money. So, and I'm also giving it away for free. So I do it from that perspective. And to give you an idea, we're not supposed to disclose details, but with 30,000 subscribers, I'm now earning well over $1,000 a month in my AdSense ads. It's not going to make me rich, but it's enough now that I actually notice it going into the bank account. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to save the changes, and now I'm nearly ready to publish. The last thing that I do before publishing is we go in and we create a post of some sort. When I upload my video, I didn't mention this. When I upload my video, I always make sure it's set to unlisted when we start. The reason it needs to be set to unlisted is if I make it public right away, people see it before you've had a chance to clean the content up, as I've just done. So I always keep it at unlisted until it is published. Once it's ready to go, I will shift it to public. And then I've got the opportunity to share it with all of my different networks. Now, I've got it shared here with Google+. I don't share it in Facebook right away, but I do share it in Twitter right away. So this is our one opportunity. Now, I've got nearly 30,000 subscribers. This is my one opportunity to reach out to everybody and let them know about it. Because how well your video performs out of the gates when you first make it public will have an effect on how well it ranks overall within YouTube. So you want to hit the ground running. So you want to give it as much of a push to start it. So this first publish is really important. So I'm going to just write this. I haven't written this yet, so I'm going to say, love the simplicity of Google Drive presentation app. This is a very, not my best best post ever, but it will do for now. One other thing that I do is we add it to an appropriate playlist. Now, I've got a playlist which is nothing but Google Apps. So I add it to that playlist. Now, actually, strategically, I sometimes don't add it to the playlist right away. Sometimes I wait for a few days and then add it to the playlist because another notification then goes out to my channel that it's been added to the playlist. But for now, I'm just going to add it to the playlist and I'm going to say publish. Now, I'm just going to take one last look across. Just humor yourselves for a moment while I make sure that everything's ready because I'm about to actually publish this video and you'll be able to go and check it out in just a few moments. So it looks good. Hopefully, there's not too many telling mistakes because I'm not going to be able to read over that right now. But I've done my annotations. I've got it all ready to go. A week or so after the video is published, by the way, what I'll be doing is I'll be coming back in, and actually I'm a little bit behind in that right now, but I'll be adding subtitles to it. I actually have a transcript done, and then I create, not subtitles, I'll be adding closed captioning to it to allow it to be better searched, and also people who are hard of hearing to be able to consume the video as well. So once that's all done and I've saved the changes, I should be able to go back to my video manager or to my dashboard, and we should see a change in the video. And it's gone now. If we look, actually, I'll go to video manager because that will show us. It now, where it had grayed out areas here, it's now public. It's being syndicated. It's being sent out to all of our subscribers' feeds right now, and it is monetized. So it's still got 0 views, but when we're done here in a few moments, we can come back and we will see that we will have views on that video pretty much right away. And so that's my publishing process. In YouTube, that's just the beginning of supporting a video, however. I've done the right things within YouTube right now. I will come back to YouTube later and deal within the community section and answer people's questions and engage with people who are commenting on the video and that sort of stuff. But before I do that, and before I leave my desk on the moment that I publish the video, I'm going to now go into my blog, which is my own WordPress site. Now, I don't care whether you use WordPress or Tumblr or what you use as your blog. I'm going to take that video and I'm going to embed it in a blog post in my site. At the end of the day, I love YouTube as a partner, but I don't want people watching, everybody watching the video, watching it in YouTube's backyard. if I can, I want people to watch video in my living room. Come to my website and watch it where I'm in control. So I make a blog post with an embed link for every video I create and post it on my site. And then all of my future efforts drive people to my site. And why do I do that? Because if you click on the blog post here, if you follow one of my links to view the site, what are you presented with as opposed to YouTube? Well, first of all, you're not shown all of my competitors' videos being listed. Well, that's a bonus. So hopefully you're going to stay and look at my videos instead. Secondly, I can encourage you to subscribe to my site in one way, supporting me on Patreon, signing up for my newsletter, and hopefully browsing around my site and basically becoming a little more ingrained with my community. I want people coming to my site as much as possible. And there is a little extra advertising hit. You'll see ads that are running on my site as opposed to ads that are running on YouTube site. All good things as far as I'm concerned. So step 2 is to publish it on your own site. And we're not done yet. Not by a long shot. Because then I will head over to Facebook and I will create a Facebook page post of the same blog post. I'm not sending people to my YouTube channel. I'm sending them with this Facebook page post to my channel to send them back. And depending on how active your Facebook channel is, your videos can get an awful lot of exposure. And actually, at this point here, you can even choose if you decide that you want to invest money in growing your channel. This is the start of that process because you can actually advertise your videos. You can promote your videos and do paid posts promotions in Facebook, which is a really effective way of growing your market. We're not going to talk about it in detail today, but it is an area that I've explored and I've got quite a bit of experience with and quite a bit of success with. So at any rate, what we do here is now we create the page post, and this is the one that I posted a couple of days ago, and you can see that I am very pleased with how this is done. I only have a little over 3,000 followers on Facebook, and I don't pay for anything on Facebook, so my organic reach on Facebook, just like yours, sucks. However, having said that, with only 3,000 followers, look at how this post is done. It's got 1,100 people reached. That's really good for a page post on Facebook. It's had a couple of comments and 3 shares. I'm thrilled with the organic reach that this video has had. So look at how I've supported this one video that we released. And if either the one today, I'll be doing these posts for this one a little bit later, but the one that I did a couple of days ago. I first of all shared it on YouTube, posted it out to all of my followers right away. Went in, created a page post on my website, on the Dottotech site, which has done quite well. It's got already 33 likes on Facebook, 10 shares in Google+, a bunch of LinkedIn shares, and a few tweets. I've also cross-posted it into Facebook, where it's got over 1,000 likes, or 1,000, views, where people could have seen it, and it's got quite a bit of organic sharing happening with it. And then I wrap it up by incorporating announcements of this video into my Twitter feed, and I push it out there. I'm remiss in not doing it also within Pinterest and other social networks, but I'm just getting my head around how those all work, so I haven't actually started working with those at this point. So that, my friends, is my publishing process. Let me go back. There I am. I'm back to you. Are you still all there with me? Let's take a look. Let's see how we're doing. How is my attendance doing? We've still got 70 people in the room, so I haven't lost too many of you. Woohoo! We're there, and I'm back. Let me check my notes because that went pretty smoothly. I didn't have any crashes. I didn't have any mistakes. It looks like a couple of people's things are stuck, but I'm looking at my feed here and it still seems to be going. So if you are having issues, if you can't hear me right now, it doesn't do you much good with me saying this, but there will be a replay link sent out an hour after this video. By the time YouTube has a chance to ingest the video and to save it, there'll be a repeat link sent out so you can view it all as soon as that's done. Oh, I know what I was going to show you. I'm going to just take a quick step back. Creating the graphics. Remember way back when I was talking about creating the graphics? I use Photoshop. If I was starting out today, I would use Canva. This is a tool which is awesome. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. I would use Canva. Check out Canva. It's an awesome tool. Oh, good. I'm getting people saying they're still here. Jiggle the handle, Rick. That's an awesome suggestion. Jiggle what handle? I would take a look at Canva for creating your cover art for your videos. It's an awesome tool that's free to use, and they give you so many templates. They give you some nice creative ideas as you move along. So that publishing process that I follow, I believe that that is the basis that will give you the ability to grow your YouTube channel. Now, of course, there are lots of different subtleties, and I've tried different ways out, and I don't always follow the exact same. I don't always follow the exact same rules each time, depending on the type of content. For example, if I'm doing a longer form video like this. This one here I'm not going to be sharing right away, but say with my my weekly shows, my weekly radio shows, I might publish it in a slightly different format. I might publish it in the evening rather than in the morning because that's when people are used to consuming it. But basically, I follow that same routine each and every time. And it's comforting because, you get up, you finish the video, knowing the steps of your routine that you have to go through and not having to think about them each step of the way means that you tend to not make mistakes and you tend to create well-supported content. And at the end of the day, that is what we are trying to do. So with that, how am I doing for time? This is a legendary webinar, folks, because I am bang on time. I'm going to spend a few minutes now telling you about a course that I've developed, and then I'm going to be taking questions that you have. So we're in perfect shape. So I've developed a couple of courses in the past, productivity courses and things like that. And I like developing courses, but I'm always a little anxious about developing courses because so many people develop courses, and I want to make sure that there's some really unique value. And I've seen lots of good courses out there about actually making videos, how to make video, how to record video, and all those sorts of things. And those are all good. But I don't see too many people talking to us about these issues that content creators have, which is how do I actually support and grow my channel? How do I make it vibrant? How do I make it work for me? So I'm going to tell you about a course that I've developed in that space. But before I do, I have to remember, let's go back to my poll and let's end this poll that I'd sent out. So 60% of you that are online now have a YouTube channel already. 20%, 28% no, wow. And 12% are just in the planning stages. That is awesome. I'm going to ask you one other poll while I move on to this next stage. And that next question is, what is the goal of your channel? For those of you that have it, what's the goal of the channel you have? So you can fill that in, and then we'll get to your questions in a few moments. But in the meantime, allow me to tell you about the next step. And the next step for us is, back to my presentation, start screen share, back to my presentation, and let me go to the end of where I was. And I will start this playing here. So I'll recap, first of all, what I talked about in the, let's go back one. I'll go back again. There we go. I'll recap the points that I consider to success in a YouTube channel. First of all, publishing frequently, and I will add reliably. If people expect a video from you every Tuesday, deliver a video every Tuesday and be ahead of the game so you're not rushing it out. Secondly, make sure that you can be found initially. Titles are the most important part of that. The third thing is be seen. If people are searching and looking at other videos, make your thumbnails appealing so people will be inclined to remember you and to click on you. The fourth is ask for support. Ask people to subscribe to your channel. If that's our goal at the beginning, growing subscribers, which was kind of the basis that we're going to work from, ask them early on in the video, hey, if you like this video, please subscribe to it. And it's worth your while because then you'll be able to see all my other videos. I don't actually articulate it. I don't say, please subscribe till the very end of the video, but my graphic comes up early in the video. If you want to, say right, at the 2-minute mark of your video, say, before I go on, please subscribe to my channel. Click on this link and subscribe. Consider doing that. Next, create a focus. By creating a focus, I'm talking about a place that we drive people to that's not on YouTube. Create your blog post, support it on your own website, and drive all of your future traffic that you can to that source. Cross-promote it into your other social network channels, and I also cross-promote it into other avenues. I do a series of blog posts for a life hack, and look for other sites where you can cross-promote your content that would value your content, that can drive people back to you and expose you to new marketplaces. And finally, I haven't shown you any of this in today's webinar, but you have to be present. You have to engage with your community, go in there into the Google conversations area, into the discussions forum, and you have to respond, you have to reply, you have to engage with your audience. YouTube has changed the rules as far as the comments goes, so that you don't have anonymous comments anymore. So everybody has to identify themselves. So it's completely cleaned up. It used to be just a disastrous, disgusting pit of insults and innuendo and swearing, and it was not valuable at all. Now you need to attach your Google Plus profile to any comments you made, and it's cleaned up dramatically. And I'm actually kind of disappointed because you can ban people from your channel. And in the last 6 months, I've only had to ban 3 or 4 people from my channel, which I think is a pretty low number. I don't understand why more people haven't come on and told me what they really think of me, but at any rate, maybe they will in the near future. All right, next steps for you. I've got an 8-week course that I've developed called Growing Your YouTube Channel. And in developing this course, what I recognized was I touch my channel each and every day. It's like a gardener that's passionate about their garden. Even if I'm just doing a little bit of weeding, I touch my channel every day. So I built this course in that form. I'm going to send you 1 email per day, which is a task. Some of the tasks are just 2 or 3 minutes. Some of the tasks are just things to think about. Some of the tasks are going to take you a little bit longer. But each and every day, our goal is going to be to make your channel a little bit better. And we can do that by paying attention to these things that I'm going to be asking you to do each day. Now, if you don't want an email each and every day and you think that's going to be overwhelmed, I'm going to send you on Friday of each week, there'll be a video digest, a video summary of everything that we did that week. So you can go back and you can just do it by reading one email and viewing one video as opposed to each one. But the bottom line is you're going to get the email each day. This is a stroke of genius. I actually built this course based on a very successful model that Lisa Larder taught me, and she does the Content Pilot, and she's a wonderful teacher and instructor in business practices and in content development. And she sends it out, her courses out by email. But because I'm the tech guy, I thought I like the idea of that, but I want to kind of up the game if I can. So I'm actually going to send out each lesson as an Evernote note link, so a shared link in Evernote. Now, even if you don't use Evernote, don't worry, because Evernote's free, and you don't have to view it in Evernote because it formats it beautifully as a HTML lesson. But by saving the notes into your Evernote notebook, if you choose to do it that way, by the end of the course, you've built your own book. You've got a little notebook that is all of your notes and all of the videos and all of the tutorials that I have on growing your YouTube channel. So you've got basically an ebook that you've built page by page through the 8 weeks of the course. Every module, of course, will have a video because I prefer to educate through video. And I actually think that this concept of using Evernote is freaking brilliant because I'm going to be delivering this course. This is the first time I deliver this course, but I'm going to do it once a quarter for the foreseeable future. I'll be updating the course each and every time I deliver the course. And because it's a linked note, every time I update the content in one of the notes, your notebook will reflect that update. So you basically end up with a lifetime subscription to this course by signing up the first time. So included in the course, Monday to Thursday is going to be an email. On Friday, there's a summary email and video. So you can either choose to consume it through the week or just do it once a week. There's also going to be 3 Q&A Google Hangouts at the end of the first month, at the end of the second month, and 1 month after the course is completed. There'll be a Google Hangout, which will be at least an hour long, where I'm going to take your questions, engage in conversation, and it'll be completely interactive as far as that is concerned. So that's all included in the course. And as I said, lifetime access because of the automatic updates. As well, I'm going to be releasing, so basically there's going to be a monthly Google Hangout supporting this email course. So even after you've taken your first 3 months of the course and you're done and your cohort is finished, you'll be able to still be able to engage in all of the future Google Hangouts because I want to build a community. And your experiences and your questions farther down the path are going to be beneficial to students that are just starting out as well. So I'm going to encourage you to engage in those Google Hangouts once a month if you have questions or if you just like to hang out with us, because hanging out with us can be fun. Finally, of course, everything I do is a money-back guarantee. The easiest way to do this is, since it's an 8-week course, is if you ask for your money back anytime before the last lesson sent, no questions asked, you get it back. But it starts soon. The first lesson is June the 30th, which means that by September, when YouTube really starts to pick up as far as value, your channel will be rocking. You will have all of the different pieces in place that I've talked about. So we start, what is that? Next Monday. It's just a few days from now. The email lessons are going to be starting. So I'm going to encourage you to sign up. And there's going to be no late sign up for this course. I want everybody at the same place at the same time, so you can't start partway through. We're going to be starting you all on Monday, June the 30th, and finishing at the end of August. And for one channel, for one of you who's with me right now, I'm going to offer you a channel assessment. I do these channel assessments occasionally. I charge about $300 for them. And what it is I go and I have a good hard look at your channel, look at your content, not just the structure of your channel, but the type of video you're producing and how you're producing the video. I do have 15 years of broadcast experience to call on there as far as your content creation model. So I will assess your entire offering. I will do a 1 hour one-on-one call with you where I'll talk through this, discuss the ideas, give you suggestions, answer your questions, and then a 30-minute follow-up call a couple of weeks later after you've managed to implement some of the stuff. So one of you who signs up for the course today in order to kickstart the course is going to get that for free, which is awesome. And I actually really enjoy doing them because I love looking at your content. Pricing, 32 lessons, 8 summary videos, about 40 videos, 3 hangouts, lifetime updates. I'm starting it out at $97. This is the first time that I'm delivering this course, so you guys get to be my, almost to a certain extent, you are my test panel for it. But I am also going to be hitting you up for testimonials at the end of it, so that's why you're getting such a good deal. But being a testimonial for my channel is going to be awesome because I'm going to be able to say, look at John, he grew from 8 subscribers to 8,000. I don't know if it's 8,000. 8 to 80. Whatever number of subscribers you're going to get some additional cross promotion by being the testimonial and test case for me. And I'm looking for feedback from you on the content as we move ahead as well. So we're going to launch this course through the summer at $97, and I encourage you to sign up now. I should get to where, is that the last slide? I think that's my last slide, yes. So now what I can do is I'm going to just jump back into the Hangout itself, turn off the screen sharing, and I'm going to put that, I've actually got the offer right here. Let me display it. Course. Display offer. I'm using Webinar Jam for this. That's how I'm able to put these offers and kind of stuff all in it. So there's the course. You can click right there. It gives you a description of everything in the course. You can sign up. It's a couple stage sign up process because you'll sign up as far as the payments goes. Then you'll be sent to a page where you register for the email autoresponder, which basically is how I'm going to be delivering the course. So make sure you follow each step through. And we'll, as I say, we will be starting delivery of this course on June the 30th. And I'm really excited about it. I think I'm excited because I'm interested to see how you folks, how my models that I've built is going to reflect on all of the different channels. I know the basic principles that I've developed as far as supporting your channel will work. I know that strategically you can and will grow your channel by understanding the mechanisms that are going to make it grow and then by adhering to some of those principles. So it's, as I say, viral growth is a crapshoot. Strategic growth is a certainty. By the time you've done 2 months of strategically paying attention to the growth of your channel, you'll know how much effort goes in to sustaining and getting to a certain subscriber level. You'll be able to predict out into the future. I set a goal of 100,000 subscribers. I know now that based on my current growth trajectory, I'm going to hit somewhere north of 50,000, close to 60,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And I'm comfortable with that. And I'm willing to continue to invest in my channel to that level because I know that at 60,000, I have a viable business. So by the end of this year, essentially 18 months into my YouTube publishing career of pushing it, I will have a viable business that I'm not going to be able to make 100% of my income from, but is going to be a great pillar to my overall business model. I still have to do speaking. I still have to teach courses and stuff like that. But my YouTube channel is a large pillar. And ultimately, within another year, it could be the main pillar of income that I have. And for any business, that's a pretty good start. Now, that's me because I'm trying to create revenue from my YouTube channel. You might have other goals. You might be growing it as lead generation. You might be growing it to support your marketing efforts, to do the technical support for your company. There's a lot of different ways that YouTube can play. So with that, we are 2 minutes from the hour. The official part of this webinar is done. Other than one last pitch, please sign up, join us, become part of the community, take the course, and one of you will win my YouTube channel evaluation. Anybody who wants to stick around, I'm going to stay in chat for as long as good questions are coming in, and I'll be answering those questions as best I can. If you are leaving us now, there'll be an email sent to you in an hour, which will contain a link to a replay, as well as a couple of extra resources that I've attached here. I thank you for participating. By the way, any of you who have come to me, not through my own email list, be subscribing to this video does not automatically enroll you in my ongoing email list. So if you want to get future emails from me with my YouTube videos, notification of my webinars, that sort of stuff, you have to go to dottotech.com and sign up for my newsletter list. You'll get 2 or 3 more emails based on this video, and then that will be it as far as communications from me. So by signing up for this, you weren't automatically enrolled in my email list, just as a side note. And with that, if you are leaving, thanks so much. I hope you really learned a lot, and I look forward to a chance to engage with you in the future, and I hope to see you on Monday in the course. If you're sticking around with me, I'm jumping over into chat right now, and I'll be answering questions. So those of you that are leaving, have fun storming the castle. Those of you who are sticking around, I'm going to answer questions now. Oh, Donna, you just signed up. Excited. Donna, I'm excited too. I'm very pumped up about this. Jeffrey, thanks for another really great webinar. Oh, Wendy signed up. Very interested, but can't afford it. Oh, that's too bad. At the moment, I'm afraid, but awesome webinar. Well, Gil, just stay, Gil, make sure you tune in and that you're subscribed to my Growing Your YouTube Channel to 100,000 subscriber vlog. Once a week, I release a video which I talk about growing your YouTube channel. So you'll get a lot of value out of that, and maybe in the future you can't afford the course. I hope that you can join us at some point in the future. Rick signed up. Amber, did you say you were repeating the course? Not ready to start my channel yet, but would be interested in the future. Amber, yes indeed. We'll be launching it again in September. I'm going to be, at least at the beginning, keeping the cohorts together. So I'm going to be releasing it once a quarter. So in September, I'll be doing it again. And then in the new year, I'll be doing it again after that. So you'll get another chance at the course. I hope that you sign up when we do that in the future. That would be great. Not sure if you covered it, Michelle says, but can you automate outposts to YouTube via other social media I'm at the free max on Hootsuite right now, but I automated links from Biz to Facebook to Biz, Twitter, but I'm just starting to look at my YouTube channel. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what you've asked there because I'm having trouble understanding it, but you can use Hootsuite to automatically promote your videos, and you can use Hootsuite to post your videos straight from YouTube, should you choose to other social channels such as Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn even. So you can use it that way, and you can automate those posts. Using Hootsuite app, their app directory, you can find some YouTube apps that will actually put your YouTube channel in your directory. Actually, oh no, I'm not going to show you. I won't jump into it right now. I actually have a video on doing that. If you look at my channel, it's one of my most recent videos on Hootsuite. I talk about that exact process. So actually, it's only a couple of days ago. Last week, I released a video on Hootsuite. Watch that video, and it will tell you how I use Hootsuite with YouTube. I hope that helps. Good. I'm going to move ahead now. If you asked a question a while ago, I'm moving up in the column now, so if I've missed it, post it again. That was wonderful. I was able to take notes on Google Drive while I listened. Yes, Angela, you rock. Indeed. Steve Erickson from sportswave.ca. Great information and continued success. Good luck to you at sportswave.ca, Steve. Love the layout, format, and options with the Webinar Jam tool. Webinar Jam is an interesting tool. I think it works really well in this particular format with a live webinar. It's worked quite well from the registration perspective. I'll know better after the webinar is completely complete, and I've heard from anybody that had issues. But this ability to be able to send offers, create polls. Oh, good heavens, I never finished my poll. Let me just jump back and end this poll so that we can see the poll results. So, of our audience, 51% is interested in lead generation, 21% want to make money, 12% just fun, 7% for product support, and a mixed bag 9%. That is awesome feedback. Thank you, folks, for filling in that information. All right. Question: when you plan content for episodes, do you base yourself on keyword research, or you just focus on subjects that are interesting from my perspective? That's from Jarek. When I plan my content, Jarek, it's very often based on suggestions at this point, where people are writing in saying, I'd love you to talk about this and I'd love you to talk about that, because I've got now enough followers and enough dialogue happening. But often I just am researching or talking to a friend, and they said, you should check out this topic. But then what I do is I've got a document that's got a list of all of the topics that I'm thinking about writing about. What I'll do is I'll look for one or two topics that I'm interested in. Then I'll do the keyword search. And if I find something that jumps out and says, oh, I really get how this one is going to resonate well, it should be a popular video, that's what I gravitate to. There's no scientific approach that I take at this point here. It's a little bit of what I'm interested in, what I'm intrigued by. You'll find actually, if you follow my videos over time, the video that we posted just a few moments ago was on using Google's presentation app, which I used for the presentation today. So it's often the tools that I'm using and that I'm engaging with and how I'm using them that drives what I'm interested in. So it's a little less scientific than it could be, but I do the keyword search and then to determine the phrasing and also determine if I'm looking at a couple of different stories, which one's probably going to resonate the best. I hope that helped. Ian, could you explain how to choose keywords and tags since it's different from SEO and Google? Oh, I can't explain that right now, Ian. I find that to be still an intimidating process. Having said that, one of my upcoming webinars is, and it'll be probably not coming up now till the end of summer just because we're running out of time with where my holidays are. We're going to be doing, keep your eyes open and make sure you're subscribed to my newsletter list because we're going to be doing an entire webinar just on YouTube SEO. Techniques that you need to learn to rank your video high in YouTube SEO. And I've got an amazing guest who just explains it so that everybody can understand it. He's energetic and so knowledgeable. So you're going to want to stick around. You're going to want to make sure you're signed up on my newsletter so you hear about that webinar coming up and jump on that webinar. It'll be at the end of summer. Okay. First webinar I ever saw, James Champion. Fantastic. Well done, Steve. Thank you, James. Big thumbs up to you. Gary, he's a Microsoft man with an iPhone. I'm a Microsoft man with an iPhone. Will this course be good for me? Absolutely. The tools that I'm teaching in publishing your YouTube channel are platform agnostic. It doesn't matter whether you're on a Mac or Windows. It doesn't matter. It's going to YouTube. So we're not talking about the creation tools of video. We're talking about techniques for growing your channel. So I think the course would be good for you if you want to learn about growing a YouTube channel. That's the key. To do the course, do you have to be a seasoned YouTuber or can you be a complete newbie? And complete newbie, absolutely, Sheila. The beauty of me being able to create a little video for each piece is I managed to walk you through each and every step of the way. And I'm starting right at the beginning. Because we have 8 weeks, I'm stripping everything back and we're starting with some things that are incredibly basic. You know, the structure of your channel itself, the type of channel art you choose, how you do that, how you create your YouTube channel trailer and what sort of content you put in to welcome people to your channel and to create those first subscribers. So I believe it's good for beginners. And if you find it over your head, take the course for a little while. If you're not getting anything out of it, let me know. And of course, the money back guarantee, that's where it comes in. And that's what it's for, is for people that it's not meeting their expectations. All right. Vincenzo, my buddy Vincenzo. He lost the first part of the webinar and several audio issues. Vincenzo's all the way in Italy, where, Vincenzo, you must be in a little bit of mourning as those darned Uruguayans decided to eat Italian a little early rather than waiting for the post-game meal. So I'm sorry for you, Vincenzo. Having said that, it is recorded, Vincenzo. You will receive an email 1 hour after the webinar with the replay link, so you'll be able to view it again. If you have any issues, contact me on Patreon. I'll have another backup copy saved. Vincenzo is one of my Patreon sponsors, I know, and I'll make sure that you get access to it that way. So you will be in good shape, sir. Will there be a replay? Mary is asking, and she'll try to watch it on Friday. You missed the first half. Mary, the replay link will be sent to you shortly, so you can choose to watch it again on Friday. The replay won't have all of the sidebar information. You won't be able to see the offers and that sort of stuff for the polls because it's just the video, but the replay link will be sent to you an hour after I hang up from this YouTube this webinar now. Georgia Dauben, you've enrolled, looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Michelle, thank you. Yes, that Michelle. Thanks a lot, Michelle. I appreciate it. Rick, I publish my main content in Vimeo. Oh, okay, and post it on Libsyn. So he does, which is a podcast delivery platform, so that it shows up in the iTunes podcast directory. Good idea. And after that, you push it to YouTube. Am I doing this backwards? You know, Vimeo, I eschew Vimeo. Here's the reason. I want every single view. And then he's also asking, is podcasting dead in relation to YouTube? No, podcasting is not dead in relation to YouTube. And it depends how you want to grow your channel. Strategically, myself, I wanted to establish myself as a YouTube going concern. So I try and drive as much traffic as I can to YouTube, because I appreciate all of the extra search benefits, and I want to be able to teach courses like this and be able to tell people how to grow their YouTube channel. Vimeo is tremendously valuable. It's a great delivery platform. If you aren't looking for the extra search and the extra outreach that YouTube search and that creates, then having your videos on Vimeo, there's no harm done. Where harm is done is if you lose search juice, if you lose the opportunity to engage with new people because you host on Vimeo. And so you aren't getting the benefit of the world's second largest search engine, which is YouTube. So that I'd be happy to engage in a little bit more conversation. I think I have to get into a little more detail with you. So Rick, if you sign up for the course, you'll have email access to me. If not, just visit my website, go to the information window there, send me an email, and we can engage in a dialogue, and I can dive a little bit deeper into your situation and be able to advise you as best I can about whether or not Vimeo is whether or not you're doing things backwards. Okay, good for that. Wendy, looking forward to the cohort. I am looking forward to it too. She volunteered for an international nonprofit and has just been assigned to run the YouTube channel. Well, is this good timing for you, Wendy, or what? So she's excited to learn from the guru. Well, I'll do my best, Wendy. I'm glad to have you on board. Dennis, what is the best, most reasonable cost website builder? And you're using FrontPage. Oh, well, I don't know about FrontPage anymore. I build my websites in WordPress. I know a lot of people have a lot of success with Squarespace or Wix. A lot of people are in. I'm not the best person to ask that. There's other forums, and maybe somebody can comment that knows a little bit about it. But it's not my area of specialty. Sorry, I started multitasking there. Vincenzo, super awesome. Thanks a lot. Really. Vincenzo, good to see you again, sir. Rick, I did sign up. We'll talk soon. Excellent, Rick. There's a new Swiss chalet on King George. Thanks, Gary. Complete non sequitur, although it's making me hungry. For those of you who are not in Canada, Swiss Chalet is a barbecue chicken franchise here in Canada. All right, so I'm going to scroll back and see if I missed any questions here. And let me just see how many people are still in the room right now. Oh, still got 47 of you here. We got lots of people hanging on. If you've asked a question and I haven't answered it, post it again, because it's down now, buried in the email, buried in the chat, and I haven't seen it. So chance to ask a few more questions, and if there are no more questions, we'll start to consider wrapping things up while I drink some agua. Gosh, I'm happy with how this webinar went. It felt good. It felt good from my perspective. I hope it was good from your perspective, and certainly what I see here seems to have done quite well from your perspective as well. And I'm not seeing any other questions. So I'll give it a few more minutes. And I got to thank everybody for this. Just to reiterate what's going to happen now afterwards is you'll get an email in an hour with the replay link and also another chance to come through and sign up for the course. If you're on the fence about signing up for the course, you've got a couple of days to sign up, but once we start the course, there won't be an opportunity to sign up until next round. And I'm going to be increasing the price next round. I'm sure it's worth a little bit more than what we're charging, but regardless, you won't get a chance until then. And there'll be I've scheduled 2 follow-up emails. So you'll get one in an hour, and then one, I think, 24 hours afterwards, which will be the final email in this series. Again, if you want to receive email from me and you're not on my mail list, if you came from one of my, clicking on somebody else's, suggestion, and you want to receive email from me, please go to my website, go to dottotech.com and sign up for the newsletter there. That way we'll assure that you get future webinars and other information from me. Good. So I see a couple more questions. Do you have some courses on using WordPress for a newbie? I have a lot of problem trying to blog. That's an interesting question. I've had a couple people ask me about WordPress. And, I'm not a great expert. I'm only a year into using WordPress. I started using it when I started on this new direction and built my new channel. Before that, I had somebody else build me a blog, and it was in Drupal. And so I would look around. I take a look around online to see if there are some good WordPress courses. It's something that I would consider integrating as part of my overall course, but I'm not a WordPress expert by any means. There are lots of them out there, so I encourage you to just kind of look online and find a good course as far as that goes. Thanks to you, Steve. James, thank you for being on board. Michelle, a testimonial. You're on the fence. If you were on the fence about doing this course too, the course is going on, Michelle. We have people signing up, so yes, indeed, it is. Michelle's saying, I'm blushing. She says, I'm one of the very best trainers. I appreciate that, and I thank you. Michelle and I go way back. She is in the IT industry in Alberta, and we've done a few little projects together. So, Michelle, good to see you on the webinar. Thanks for the support. Bernardo, agua is a Portuguese word. Thank you, Bernardo. James, used to love my Dottotech show on TV. I love my Dottotech show on TV too, mainly because it gave me a living. That was the awesomest part. Julian says, I'm a legend. Oh, man, my head's going to get too big. Look at this. My head's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Just like that. Thunderstorm, signing off, Mary. Thanks from DC. Thank you, Mary. Stay safe. Bernardo, have to go. Thanks again, Bernardo. Rick, been watching since the Dotto on Data logo on a mug. Oh, we used to send out mugs with our old Dotto on Data logo. I think I have one somewhere around the house here. That's awesome. Do you still have it, Rick? Do you still have it? That's a collector's item, that is. Angela, very cool. That's good. So it looks like we're done with the questions. So with that, I'm going to basically start wrapping things up. And I have to thank everybody so much for spending this time. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. We kept it in the ballpark as far as the amount of time that we wanted to deliver. And it looks like a lot of you have signed up for the webinar. I will at the end of today, I will pick the winner of the person who's won the website overview or basically my debriefing. Look, I'm losing my language now. I'm already thinking how good an iced tea is going to taste. So I have to say thanks so much for everybody for tuning in. Much success on your own YouTube ventures. Stay in touch with us here on Dottotech. We'll be bringing you more informational videos like this as we go along. The next video I have planned is a little bit different. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn, using LinkedIn, and I'm lucky to have Viveka von Rosen, one of the real LinkedIn experts, who's going to help me with my next webinar. And so with that, I'm going to say thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'm going to wrap things up. Have fun storming the castle.